Good afternoon, Your Honor. Daniel Magoo.
All right. Mr. Gu, you are representing yourself. I do have to apprise you that you are before the court on charge of resisting and obstructing a police officer. That is a high court misdemeanor, or what technically is known as a high court misdemeanor, and or felony punishable by up to 2 years, $2,000 fine plus court costs. There are great perils in representing yourself in this. You have to understand that I am going to treat you the same as though you know the laws and the rules of evidence. I will not treat you worse because you are not represented. I will not treat you better or grant any favors or try to clarify anything for you. If for whatever reason during any point in this proceeding you wish to be represented by counsel and cannot afford to hire counsel, counsel will be appointed to represent you. As I have in the past hearings asked you to acknowledge what I've said, I'm going to only indicate that I believe that you understand English. You believe that the words that I have said to you are understood, so that we don't get into, you need to remove the gum from your mouth.
Mr. Muir is back in court, and this time things are about to go downhill fast, proving exactly why having a lawyer is so important. If you haven't seen the first part of this story, this video is a follow-up to an earlier one where we got a glimpse of just how unprepared Mr. Muir really is. From the start, he showed no respect for the courtroom, chewing gum while standing before a judge and choosing to represent himself with no legal training or advice. It's hard to watch. Let me be clear, never do what Mr. Muir is doing here. Always get proper legal representation. You're not doing yourself any favors trying to go it alone. Now let's get into what happened during this particular court appearance with Judge Simpson. What stood out the most is Mr. Muir's attitude. He came across as arrogant.
And
Thank you.
so I will not ask you to acknowledge. I will presume that you do indeed understand everything that I've said. Now, having said that, what are we doing with this case?
I'd like to move for evidentiary hearing or yeah.
You wish to have a preliminary examination?
Preliminary examination, yes, sir.
Would the people have their witnesses available the second?
We can try, Your Honor, but before moving toward that, would the court be willing to make its inquiries about discovery? I am aware of the defendant having filed a writ of mandamus with the Court of Appeals of the state of Michigan.
Yes.
That was subsequently dismissed without prejudice by the Court of Appeals.
Correct.
Contained within that, though, there are allegations that my office has violated its Brady obligations and has not provided sufficient discovery. So I'm not sure if we're ready to move forward to preliminary exam. The defendant is saying that he doesn't have all of the discovery. That is the concern of the record. I feel compelled to make at this time, though, is that the people have provided, I do believe, complete discovery to the defendant, and I believe that some of the representations that were made in this writ of mandamus that has been dismissed include appear to allege that things that have already been denied by this court should be produced. Furthermore, the defendant filed a motion with no notice of hearing attached to it. So there's an outstanding motion in this case as well, no hearing date scheduled. So I'm hoping that to sort of reconcile both of those things as whether or not discovery is complete, the defendant's prepared to move forward, and if he ever intends to file a notice of hearing to go along with the motion that I received in this case on 11/22.
Mr. Magoo, your response?
My response is that I thought this was the hearing that we were setting for the motion. So if I have to set a motion for a notice of hearing for that motion, I will do that today, Your Honor, promptly.
What about discovery?
I'm ready to move forward on my what I meant by my discovery comment was that there's still no exculpatory evidence as far as that I did anything wrong as far as anything that they've submitted. So if it was improper for the wording, Your Honor, I apologize, but my ultimate goal is have the prosecution present their evidence against me.
I'm going to indicate discovery is complete because I don't know what you're saying. because what you just said regarding discovery didn't make any sense. As it regards the motion, we will hear the motion or the motion will be heard on date of exam.
Thank you, Your
Deal
Honor.
with it at that point in time. So the people would have their witnesses available on the second.
We can try for the second, Your Honor.
Preliminary examination in person, January 2nd, 2025. 12.
Yeah.
12 noon, that is before me.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And continue.
Arrogant and uncooperative, trying to talk over the judge and refusing to answer simple questions. It's baffling. It's almost as if he believed he knew more than the court, something that never works out well. To be honest, he reminded me of the people I've covered before who follow so-called sovereign citizen beliefs. They often speak in a way that challenges legal authority and tends to escalate situations rather than resolve them. Whether or not he identifies with that group, his behavior here fits the pattern. And here's where things get serious. Mr. Muir is facing charges related to assaulting a police officer. On top of that, he has reportedly lost custody of his child as a result. That's not something that happens without cause. These are life-changing consequences, and yet he's treating the process like it's no big deal. It's frustrating to watch someone be so dismissive in such a serious setting. The lack of accountability, the refusal to get legal help, it just doesn't make sense. And the sad part is, this approach is only hurting him more. If there's one takeaway from this video, it's this. Don't try to handle legal matters on your own, especially when the stakes are this high. Time and time again, we see that representing yourself rarely works out well. As for Mr. Muir, we'll be keeping an eye on his next hearing scheduled for January. I'll be sure to cover that when it's released. It'll definitely be interesting to see how this continues to unfold. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this video helpful or eye-opening, feel free to like and subscribe. It really supports the channel and helps me bring you more content like this. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.